The first skyscraper built in Boston was the Ames Building, which was built in 1889. The building is 188 feet tall and is located in Government Center. The interior was converted into a hotel in 2007. Standing at 496 feet tall, the Custom House Tower stood as the tallest building in Boston from 1915 to 1964. The tower housed the city's customs department from 1915 to 1986 when they moved to a different building. The interior was converted into a Marriott hotel in 2000 after being empty for 14 years. Built in 1947, the old John Hancock Tower is 495 feet tall and is located in Back Bay. The tower has a weather beacon on top which lights up based on the weather forecast for the next 3 hours. If the beacon is blue, the weather is clear. If it flashes blue, it will be cloudy. If the beacon is red, it is gonna rain. If it flashes red, it will snow soon. Standing at 749 feet tall, the Prudential Tower is currently the second tallest skyscraper in Boston. Its massive antenna reaches as high as 907 feet tall. Nicknamed the Pru, this tower was built in 1964 and stood as the tallest building in the world outside of New York City when it was completed. On the 50th floor, an observation deck known as the Skywalk is currently the tallest observation deck in New England since the deck on the Hancock Tower closed in 2001. The 52nd floor is home to a restaurant called Top of the Hub. The tower is sometimes used to create messages for the city to see using extra lighting and the windows. During the World Series, the tower is illuminated to say "Go Sox." The 1970s were home to the biggest building boom Boston has ever seen. 13 major skyscrapers were built during this time, including the John Hancock Tower. Built in 1970, One Boston Place is currently the 6th tallest building in the city of Boston. It is 601 feet tall and was the first building in the world to earn the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design Gold Award in 2008. The John Hancock Tower is one of Boston's best-known buildings, especially since it's the tallest in New England. The Hancock opened in 1976 and had many engineering issues. The most famous problem was an issue with the windows, which would fall out and smash on the ground because of the way that they were designed. Having 500-pound window panes falling from a 790-foot building was obviously a major issue, so the engineers took all the windows out and replaced them with plywood sheets until the new windows could be installed in the tower. Once the tower opened, occupants of the upper floors reported feeling sick from how much the building swayed in the wind. Although all skyscrapers move a bit in the wind, the Hancock Tower moved so much that it was in danger of collapsing when the winds were too strong. Because of this, a tuned mass damper was installed on the 58th floor, which is basically a massive sliding piece of metal which stabilizes the tower. One of the main attractions in the Hancock was a public observation deck at the top of the tower, but this was closed after 9/11 and hasn't opened since. Built in 1977, the Federal Bank Building currently stands as the 5th tallest tower in the city. It is 614 feet tall and is located next to South Station in the Financial District. The bottom of the tower is mostly hollow, to allow the sea breeze from nearby Boston Harbor to pass through. By the 1980s, the building boom had stopped. Only 4 major skyscrapers were constructed during this time. Developed by Boston local Don Chiafaro, One International Place opened in 1987 at 600 feet tall. It is currently the 7th tallest building in the city and is one of 2 buildings in the International Place complex. Only 2 major skyscrapers were built during the 1990s in Boston, one being the 2 International Place Tower. 2 International Place stands at 538 feet tall and has a cone-shaped crown on its roof. The tower was completed in 1992. Only 5 major towers were built in Boston during the 2000s, most of which were shorter than 500 feet. One of Boston's better-known buildings is 111 Huntington Avenue, commonly referred to as the R2-D2 building because it looks like the character from Star Wars. The tower is 554 feet tall and is part of the Prudential Center complex. The building was finished in 2001. In 2006, plans for a 1,000-foot tall tower to be built on the Winthrop Square garage site were presented to the city. Mayor Menino supported this plan, which would become the new tallest building in Boston and New England if completed. The plans were stopped when the FAA claimed that the tower would obstruct flight traffic in 2008. This was the only time a tower taller than 900 feet has been proposed in Boston. In recent history, another large building boom has happened in Boston, which is still ongoing. The first tower to be completed during this time was the Millennium Tower, a 684-foot condo tower located in downtown Crossing. Completed in 2016, the building's penthouse is the most expensive residence in the city when it was put up for sale at $45 million in 2018. The tower is currently the fourth tallest tower in the city, and construction on the building started in 2013. Located in Back Bay, the new One Dalton Tower will be the first building taller than 700 feet built in Boston since the 1970s. Originally planned to be 691 feet, the tower is to be 742 feet tall, 7 feet shorter than the nearby Prudential Tower. The tower is currently topped out and will be completed in early 2019. The lower part of the building is to house a Four Seasons hotel from floor 2 to floor 24. Floors 26 to 61 will house private residences and even a pool. Construction on the tower started in 2015. Located next to Haymarket Square, the Government Center garage is disliked by most people. The 1960s built garage is made entirely of concrete and has 2,300 spaces. A redevelopment project was proposed in late 2015 and was approved in 2016. The plan called for most of the existing garage to be demolished. Once the garage is demolished, 2 skyscrapers and several smaller buildings will be constructed. The tallest tower will be 528 feet tall and will contain office and retail space. The office tower will be finished in 2022. The residential tower will be 480 feet tall and will be finished in 2020. The project broke ground in early 2017. Once the Transnational Place Tower was cancelled by the developers, new towers started to be proposed on the Winthrop Garage site. After proposals by several construction companies began to be released in 2016, a final design submitted by Millennium Partners won the bidding with a $153 million bid and was selected as the design. The original proposal was to be 750 feet tall, which would make it the second tallest tower in the city. The project was highly controversial because it broke laws set by the state to limit how long a shadow can be cast on Boston Common and the Public Garden. The law's limit was no shadows for more than 60 minutes per day, but the proposed tower was to cast a shadow for 90 minutes on the Common. Both Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh and Governor Charlie Baker stated that they would like to change the law to allow the tower to be built. The developers increased the proposed height of the tower to 775 feet in late 2016, but the FAA stated that the tower was too tall and would interfere with flight traffic from Logan Airport. Because of this, the height of the tower was changed to 702 feet tall. The tower's height was shortened again to 691 feet tall in early 2018. The plans for the tower were approved in mid-2018, and the developers released a new design for the tower. The design was disliked by the public, and a final design was submitted in late 2018. The tower is to have 2 peaks at 691 feet tall and 579 feet tall. The tower broke ground in October 2018 and will be completed in 2022. The tower will have both residential and office space. Several towers in the past decade or so have been proposed, but construction on them never started. These towers may be built in the future. One of the most ambitious proposals for a skyscraper in Boston has been a long-standing plan to build a tower on top of South Station. The tower is planned to have both office and residential space, and it is supposed to be 677 feet tall. The original plans called for a 759-foot tower with a massive spire on top, but this was shortened to 677 feet without a spire in 2006, 1 year before construction was supposed to begin. The reason for this change was because the FAA said that the tower would be too tall and would get in the way of air traffic from Logan Airport. In 2007, construction on the tower never started like it was supposed to. Nobody heard anything regarding the project for a long time, leaving many to believe that it would never be built. But in 2016, the developers stated that they wanted to start construction within a year, and that the tower would be complete within 4 years. Negotiations with the state delayed the groundbreaking date to 2018, and eventually to 2019. The state told the developers that construction on the tower must begin before April 30, 2019, otherwise they will lose the rights to build the tower. The Copley Place Tower was approved to be built 625 feet tall in late 2011, but construction never started. The tower was to go on top of the Copley Place Mall in Back Bay, and was to be either a condo tower or have rooms for rent. The developers put the project on hold in late 2016 due to rising construction costs and an abundance of high-end housing in the city. In 2007, architect Don Chiafaro purchased a harbor parking garage next to the New England Aquarium with the intent to demolish the garage and build a tower in its place. His original plan for a 770-foot tower was shot down by former Mayor Menino, who said that the tower was tall enough to cast a large shadow over the Rose Kennedy Greenway. In 2009, Chiafaro came back with a new proposal for the site, this time involving two towers. One of these towers would rise 600 feet and the other would rise 500 feet. The taller of the towers would be a residential building, and the other would be for office space. Although the city approved the towers in early 2017, both the New England Aquarium and residents of the nearby Harbor Towers have opposed the new development, and residents of the towers are even trying to sue Chiafaro to try and stop the buildings from being built. The future of the project is currently uncertain.